What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with RK Outpost, and there has been so much information put out there about what exactly has gone down on the set of Rust. And now, the person that so many people are placing the blame on, the 24-year-old inexperienced armorer who evidently has a history of safety problems and was reportedly very lax about a lot of the safety measures on set, she is speaking out, and she is pushing all of the blame away from herself, and now is saying, in fact, that it was sabotage, hinting that someone intentionally did this to try to push all of the blame away from her. We've seen Alec Baldwin come out in recent days. We've seen him retweeting articles placing blame on the assistant director. We've seen him sharing articles to say, well, these things that people are saying about the set, it just can't be true. He's doing everything he can to get blame away from him. Dave Halls came out and finally made a statement. But what we're hearing from Hannah Gutierrez-Reed, again, who we've made a lot of videos about on this channel, is next level, to be quite honest with you. It is next level, saying that someone sabotaged this. These were theories very early on that maybe somebody did this. Maybe a disgruntled crew member left live bullets around or put live bullets in this gun just to get back at somebody. But now we have the lawyers and Hannah Gutierrez-Reed through her lawyers saying that exact same thing. Look at this article from Deadline. Rust armor Hannah Gutierrez-Reed reinforces lawyer's sabotage claim. Questions where fatal live rounds came from. And it's very strange because through this entire situation, she has been saying, I did everything right. I kept the gun locked up. I kept the gun and the ammo under complete control. But somehow this happened. Hours after a Charge Today appearance by her lawyers postulating the October 21st fatal shooting of cinematographer Helena Hutchins may have been the result of sabotage, Rust armor Hannah Gutierrez-Reed is now pouring fuel on the still theoretical fire. Never in a million years did Hannah think that live rounds could have been in the dummy round box, said the latest statement from the crew member at the center of the deepening police probe of what went so terribly wrong on the $7 million budgeted Western. Who put those in there and why is the central question. So now we have gone from defending Hannah Gutierrez-Reed to saying that she's safety conscious, all these things, to now saying we need to find out who put that round in that dummy box because it couldn't have been there and it definitely wasn't our client. And from a lawyer standpoint, what are you going to do? I mean, that makes sense. They're going to do everything they can to try to get the most blame off their client, especially in light of the Helena Hutchins family hiring a lawyer that is known for getting a lot of settlements for whether it's personal death or personal injury, wrongful death, things like that. Hannah did everything in her power to ensure a safe set. She inspected the rounds that she loaded into the firearms that day. No one could have anticipated or thought that someone would introduce live rounds into this set. And we do have the entire statement that we will read from through, it's Hannah Gutierrez-Reed's statement, but it's through her lawyers. And this is a person we talked about a lot at the beginning. When all this information started coming out, she protected her Twitter, she deleted her social media, all these things, because people found that was essentially a TikTok thought. That she was an e-girl with pay pigs and was very interested in modeling and more interested in doing things like OnlyFans than she seemed interested in her actual job as an armorer, keeping people safe and firearm safety, things like that. But, that's just the presence that she put out there on social media. She was not happy with the way that looked, so she quickly deleted all of that. Over 3 executed search warrants since the tragic shooting of Hutchins and the injuring of director Joel Souza, the Santa Fe Sheriff's Office have found 500 rounds of ammunition, a mix of blanks, dummy rounds, and what we are suspecting are live rounds. And this is after everyone saying there's no way that could have happened. Let's see. The most recent search by detectives hauled in more weapons and ammunition, including at least one live 45 caliber round found in the Rust prop truck and its lockbox, which Hannah Gutierrez-Reed said there's no way that could have happened. How did this happen? I kept it under personal lock and key. I did everything right. Apparently not. In a previous statement, Gutierrez-Reed's lawyer said the armor had, quote, no idea where the live rounds came from. And they went on the Today Show. They said a disgruntled former crew member could have been the person that did it. So we have very differing statements from Alec Baldwin. He's trying to say that there was nothing wrong on set. We're a well-oiled crew, no disgruntlement at all. Now, Hannah Gutierrez-Reed's lawyers are saying, well, it must have been these very upset crew members that probably did this. Former camera crew member may have had something to do with that live round appearing where it shouldn't have. And of course, we've talked about hours before the killing of Hutchins, several members of the team resigned from Rust, citing safety and financial reasons. And here's a quote from one of the lawyers. "Why would you do that other than to try to cause some incident on set? Now, we're not saying anybody had any intent that we're going to do a tragedy, a homicide, but they wanted to do something to cause a safety incident on set. That's what we believe happened." And I'll be real, that's not out of the realm of possibilities. You know, I think that some people thought maybe that would happen. And the circumstances that led up to this, the fact that that live round would be in there while Alec Baldwin pulled out, wait, Alec Baldwin didn't check the gun, assistant director didn't check the gun, all of these people were completely negligent. You know, maybe this idiot didn't actually think that this would happen. I can see their arguments, but I think it's arguments for argument's sake to try to pass the blame rather than legitimately believing that this happened. But I want to read you the whole statement. Hannah Gutierrez-Reed would like to add a few points to the continuing narrative on the tragic events surrounding the shooting of the Rust set. She has lied over and over again. So the fact that she's now changing her story again isn't surprising. First, Hannah was incredibly safety conscious and took her job very seriously from the moment she started on October 4th. Not according to reports. She did firearms training for the actors as well as Mr. Baldwin. She fought for more training days, and she regularly emphasized to never point a firearm at a person. Never in a million years did Hannah think live rounds could have been in the dummy round box. Who put those in there and why is the central question. Hannah kept guns locked up, including throughout lunch on the day in question, and she instructed her department to watch the cart containing the guns where she was pulled away for her other duties or on a lunch break. Hannah did everything in her power to ensure a safe set. She inspected the rounds she loaded in the firearm that day. She always inspected the rounds. She did again. This is the thing that doesn't make any fucking sense. She did again right before handing the firearm to Mr. Halls by spinning the cylinder and showing him all the rounds and then handing him the firearm. So you're telling us that you don't know how live rounds ended up, how could it end up in the dummy box? Yet you're also saying that the same rounds that were in there, you inspected, it was fine. So now it's more than a disgruntled crew member. Now you're saying that potentially what happened, you have to be insinuating someone else put that in there who was handling the gun, like Halls or like Alec Baldwin. That has to be what you're saying. This story doesn't make any fucking sense, and that's why there's so much criticism right now of Hannah Gutierrez-Reed and her lawyers. I think everyone's trying to cover everyone's asses, obviously. Something about this does not make sense, even when she's saying it. She did again right before handing the firearm to Mr. Halls by spinning the cylinder and showing him all the rounds, which he says he can't remember her doing that. No one could have anticipated or thought that someone would introduce live rounds into this set. Well, it happened, didn't it? It certainly happened, and as a result, we have a tragedy. Right? Helena Hutchins has lost her life at the hands of Alec Baldwin, and all these other people were negligent along the way, including Alec Baldwin. But what do you make of Hannah Gutierrez-Reed's claims and her very story that continues to change? I don't think it's a good look for her necessarily, but they're trying to throw off blame and say it was sabotage, guys. Someone else did this intentionally. Let me know in the comments below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.
Thanks for watching, everyone, and a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.